Hello and welcome back to ESBR Boxing. Just doing a quick reaction video to the Harlem Eubank Timo Schwarzkopf fight. Flying solo tonight, so it'll just be myself doing the quick review of Harlem Eubank's stoppage victory, as I say, over Timo Schwarzkopf down in Brighton. It was a late stoppage for Harlem Eubank. He moves to 19-0 and picks up the WBO Global super lightweight title. So for Harlem Eubank, obviously he's got the illustrious family name, looking to follow in the steps of Uncle Chris. And you know, he's picked up a title now, and he'll be looking to move on. He goes to 19-0. I think he's still looking for that big victory, whether that be domestic, whether he takes on sort of someone within the European rankings. I do think that's the victory he's going for next. But yeah, we'll go straight into the actual fight itself. I think at this stage of Harlem's career, that was a very, very scrappy fight. He was well in for a fight. Obviously scored a nice early knockdown, but obviously with the later points deduction, which I do want to add, I think that points deduction was a bit harsh. I know the commentators at the time agreed with me, and that completely evened the scores up at the time. I think Harlem started well. It was a good knockdown. I think he jumped all over Schwarzkopf. He just couldn't find the finish. But I think it's a good learning curve for Harlem, as during sort of the rally and the barrage of punches that he was trying to land, Schwarzkopf actually ended the round very strong. And I just think that he lacked the power to get him out of there, and that led to him being well within a fight. I mean, Schwarzkopf had a cut sort of over his left eye. Harlem Eubank's nose looked bust towards the end. And overall, I thought it was a very good fight. You know, it was scrappy at times, but a lot of the time they were sort of trading on the ropes, in the middle of the ring, in the corner. It weren't the most technical of fights I've ever seen. And again, yeah, like I say, it was very scrappy at times. I think Schwarzkopf would have surprised Harlem Eubank. He surprised me slightly. I didn't really know what to expect. I've not seen much of him previously. And you know, in boxing, sometimes it's those fighters that can spring the surprises. They can come in and they can get the big knockouts. You know, we seen that. I know it was sort of a Mexican style fighter, but when Gary Cully lost, it was a bit of a shock. No one really knew much about his opponent, and look what happened there. So yeah, I think for Harlem Eubank, he didn't look amazing. I think he's a fighter that's underwhelmed previously in quite a few of his fights. He's not the most exciting. He hasn't always necessarily been in the greatest of fights. And tonight, I just think it wasn't as big a step forward as he needed. Obviously, he's picked, like I say, the WBO Global title up. So now that's obviously the route they'll be looking to take. But I still think he needs that big win. Although it was a stoppage, I still think it wasn't a great performance from Eubank. Schwarzkopf was landing some good punches. He caught Harlem Eubank with some nice shots. Again, someone in that situation with more power probably could have got Eubank out at times. I know sometimes the shots can always look worse when they're slowed down. However, Schwarzkopf definitely landed some lovely shots. I had it fairly even on the scorecards going into the sort of the latter rounds. So I think that stoppage was a big stoppage for Harlem Eubank. I haven't seen the official scorecards as of yet. However, I will be interested to see whether Eubank was sort of clearly up, or whether that knockout was sort of come at a brilliant time and was required. Again, I think Schwarzkopf put a good performance on. I think he roughed Harlem Eubank up, forced Harlem Eubank to fight his fight, kept it nice and tight, kept fighting on the inside, kept it sort of a close distance, and it played into his hands. You know, a point deducted each keeps it, Harlem Eubank getting the point deducted in a round that Schwarzkopf I felt was winning anyway. Sort of he cancelled out Harlem Eubank's knockdown. So yeah, as I say, a good fight. Not the best of Harlem Eubank. I think there's been questions over how far he can actually go, what levels he can actually reach, and on the back of that, it's a tough one to see. I think within the WBO rankings, I've had a quick look. Obviously, he's nowhere near world title level, but you've got Sean McComb, who's sort of well ranked within the WBO, 17-1. So I think that could be a brilliant domestic fight. It's a good level to see where Harlem's at, because we've seen Sean McComb on the back of a very good victory. So yeah, I think that is a fight that would be brilliant to see. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Whether you were happy with Harlem Eubank's performance, whether you felt he was losing the fight, and the knockout was a get out of jail free card. How far can Harlem Eubank go? What's next for Harlem Eubank? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and yeah, let us know what you thought of the fight.